Hey folks, y'all see the title. I don't understand this one whatsoever, but here we are. And I finally stumbled across a unicorn, a Democrat that says something that I agree with, and it makes perfect sense. Now, let me preface saying this. Look, this is too close to Travis Air Force Base. Travis Air Force Base has a strategic importance to the security of this country that a lot of people that even live in this country and born in this country don't give a crap about. But then when something goes wrong, they'll be the first one saying, why didn't somebody do something? When they've been nothing but resistant along the way. But be that as it may, land was sold. We don't know who this company is that bought it. Okay, one of the first people I would be reeling in with rod and reel is the person or the entity that sold the land. I'm coming for you first. You're not under I just need to know who it is. We do everything else. The government does everything else. We can't find out who bought $800 million worth of land 10 miles from Travis Air Force Base? Really? If I'm telling you, El Presidente or Dictator Taylor, a benevolent dictator, no foreign entity under any circumstances would be able to purchase land in the United States, be it residential, commercial, or industrial. Yes, I said it. Yes, I meant it. Well, China bought that. Stop trying to tell me SHIT that I've known for decades. Like I didn't know that. Let me say it again. Let me say it slower. If I had my way, no foreign entity would be able to purchase land in the United States, be it residential, commercial, or industrial. It really is just that simple. I don't mix. There's no mixed message there. Okay, let's go ahead and get this show on the road.
Into Flannery Associates. The firm purchased 55,000 acres of farmland in Solano County, including right near Travis Air Force Base. Now, that's nearly double the size of San Francisco. Yet no one, not even the federal government, can figure out who's behind it. And more importantly, why. Federal officials say a mysterious company has purchased nearly $1 billion of land surrounding Travis Air Force Base, one of the most critical military bases in the western U.S. Democratic Congressman John Garamendi raised the alarm to the U.S. Air Force, prompting a federal investigation.
In your briefings on the matter, do you have any reason to believe the purchase of this land is for spying?
I have every reason in the world to believe that this land is in an area in which spy operations or any other nefarious activity could take place that could detrimentally impact the ability of Travis Air Force Base to operate in a moment of national emergency.
Public records show the company, Flannery Associates LLC, began purchasing the land in 2018, and investigators say those acquisitions ramped up this year.
But now literally 3 sides of that base is totally controlled by the Flannery Group. Nobody knew who they were. Who are these people? Where did they get the money that they can pay 5 to 10 times the normal value that others would pay for this farmland?
8 months of investigation, yet
we do not know where this money's coming from.
Do you have any reason to believe China is tied to this group?
5 to 10 times the normal price of purchasing this land. 5 to 10 times. Huh? Okay.
Reason to be concerned.
Garamendi says an attorney representing Flannery Associates indicated the firm is made up of a group of families, 97% of whom are allegedly American, looking to diversify their portfolio from equities to real assets, including agricultural land. But the congressman is skeptical.
Well, we have heard scheme after scheme that makes no sense at all. We're going to build a deep water port. Really? Around Travis Air Force Base, which is 10 miles from the bay? We're going to farm. Well, at that price, you're going to lose a lot of money farming. We're going to build a city. No, you're not going to build a city here for all kinds of reasons. So none of the reasons why the land is being acquired make any sense at all.
What do you think is happening?
I don't know.
According to Garamendi, Flannery Associates has also acquired land around the interstate electrical grid system, all the way from the Columbia River into central California. This includes land that houses wind turbines that provide significant power into Northern California.
It's the secrecy here. What's going on? If you're not a nefarious operation, why are you keeping it secret?
Now, the I-Team has reached out to the attorney representing Flannery Associates for further comment, but we're still waiting to hear back. In the meantime, Garamendi says this continues to negatively impact the farming community in Solano County. He says at least 10 landowners are currently being sued by Flannery, accused of being engaged in an illegal scheme to prevent Flannery from buying their land. So this continues. There's a lot of moving parts here.
That is the strangest thing. What a mystery.
It is bizarre.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Stephanie.
If you think that's something, watch this.
We have an update to a story we brought you last weekend here on News Nation Prime. A so-called mystery company, Flannery Associates, buying up farmland in between San Francisco and Sacramento near Travis Air Force Base in California. Now, they have spent $800 million over the last 5 years. And now 3 sides of the base are completely controlled by Flannery, sparking national security concerns. But after months of investigations from the federal government, no one can figure out who Flannery actually is and what their intentions are with this land. News Nation's Emily Finn spoke with California Congressman John Garamendi about this, who says farmers are now being targeted in a massive lawsuit from this company. Emily.
That's right, Natasha. The more that News Nation looks into this story, the more bizarre these land acquisitions seem to be. As you just mentioned, multiple agencies, including the Air Force's Foreign Investment Risk Review Office, are currently investigating what this mystery company, Flannery Associates, intends to do with the land. They've already purchased nearly 52,000 acres. And while questions still remain, a group of farmers in the area are now facing a $510 million lawsuit from Flannery, something Congressman Garamendi says could bankrupt the farmers.
Why? Why would somebody spend 5 to 10 times more than the normal price?
Congressman John Garamendi has questions for Flannery Associates' $800 million in land acquisition surrounding Travis Air Force Base, saying these purchases just don't add up. Garamendi says he's been in contact with the families of farmers who sold their land to Flannery and claimed that they didn't want to sell to begin with, but Flannery made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Mystery company Flannery Associates agreed to pay well above the market value of the land, but now Flannery is suing those families for $510 million, accusing them of conspiring together to inflate the value of the land, saying, quote, "This is a simple case about a group of wealthy landowners who saw an opportunity to conspire, collude, price fix, and illegally overcharge Flannery."
Well, technically, I'm not overcharging you because I'm not selling you anything. So that's like, Nick, yeah, how much you want for Whitey Ford? Well, it's not for sale. Well, if you had to sell it, but it's not for sale. But if you had to sell it, okay, if I had to sell it, I'd probably sell it. The fair market value for it now is about $68,000. For, it's a year old, so about $68,000. Oh, I'm gonna sue you for what? It's not for sale. What are you talking about? Now, unless one of them decided to, but wait a minute. How can you say overflate? Let's say they were trying to sell. Fair exchange is no robbery. You just paid, what was that, 8 to 10 times as much for the land that you have. No one's forcing you to buy anything. Say, man, how much you want for it? $2 million. All right, thanks. You want it? Nah, I pass. I'm missing something. And the government, y'all dropping the ball once again. Y'all worrying about some guy that had a plastic, one of them 3D printers making plastic that made a receiver for a pistol that worked for 4 rounds, and y'all brought in y'all sent the army over there to get this guy an APC, armed up men, body armor, and whole 9 yards. And then something like this, you don't get a whimper out of the federal government. Yeah, make that make sense.
It is a suit designed to force the farmers to lawyer up, spend tens of thousands of dollars on lawyering, and maybe at the end of the day, bankrupt themselves.
Companies with ties to China have been ramping up efforts to buy American farmland in recent years. And Garamendi says there is valid concerns that Flannery's land acquisitions could be tied to our foreign rivals.
The fact that they chose to buy all 3 sides of the Travis Air Force Base raises immediate questions about national security. So is this Chinese money? We don't know. But we do know that the Chinese money was being used in North Dakota, and we have a very deep suspicion, given the amount of money, given the lack of attention to values, that they simply want to acquire all of this land.
News Nation investigated a now thwarted deal with a Chinese-owned company in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Last year, 300 acres of farmland were purchased near the Grand Forks Air Force Base by Chinese-owned Fufeng, a deal raising...
Gee, near another Air Force base. What a coincidence. Y'all do believe in coincidences, right?
red flags about potential spying. After pushback from the local community, the city council ultimately voted to end the project, citing national security concerns. Garamendi says the local community near Travis Air Force Base is riled up, just like the residents in Grand Forks, due to how critical this area is for the U.S. military.
Travis Air Force Base is absolutely essential. It is the gateway to the Pacific. And a good deal of the munitions that are going to Ukraine also pass through Travis Air Force Base.
So let's put this all into perspective here, Natasha. China has been buying up American farmland for years, and the USDA reports nearly 384,000 acres of agricultural land in the U.S. is already controlled by the Chinese. And the rate at which they're purchasing this land is rising exponentially. Over the past 5 years, Chinese ownership of American farmland has increased 55%. And when we map out exactly where this land is located, almost 3/4 are here in the South. About 16% of these Chinese-owned farms are on the West Coast, and that's where the nearly $1 billion of land acquisitions from Flannery Associates is located. Many questions are still remaining about who is behind Flannery Associates and their intentions with this land, Natasha.
Yeah, it is a mystery. Emily Finn, we appreciate you breaking it down. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider.
This makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. The part from a strategic standpoint, it makes sense. I'm doing it because you allow me to do it. Until you put something in, until you stop me, I'm going to do it. Now, how to get that loophole closed? I don't know. I guess they too busy worrying about Trump. But hell, this ain't no new loophole. We've had Republican presidents since this purchase deal going. They were asleep at the wheel. Congress sleep at the wheel. The Senate sleep at the wheel. The Democratic Party sleep at the wheel. The Republican Party sleep at the wheel. Both Republican and Democrat presidents and administrations and senates sleep at the wheel. I got enough heat to go around for everybody. So let's see how far the rabbit hole goes. Y'all be good and be safe. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. All right. Bye.